to Would I Lie to You, the show with bare-faced lies and well-masked truths. On Lee Mack's team tonight, a dapper comedian who once performed at the Royal Variety Show. He was the only act who ever had to dress down to meet the Queen. It's Tom Allen. Hello. And an actress who starred in the sitcom Getting On about life in the NHS. It was so authentic, there was a 4-month waiting list to watch it. It's Vicki Pepperdine. And on David Mitchell's team tonight, a comedian who appears on the MASH report. I love it. But then I love anything with MASH. It's Geoff Norcott. And a fashion designer and judge on the Great British Sewing Bee. I've had to warn her, no matter what she thinks of David's outfit, she can't vote him off. It's Esme Young. And so we begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Tom, you're first up tonight.
I have a folder on my laptop containing flattering photos of me that I have asked my family to give to the police should I ever go missing.
David's team.
So, how many in the range?
I think at the moment, because I'm quite picky, it's around about 55 to 60.
Oh, so that's a good range for the police to choose from.
Yes, well, I wanted to give them options.
Yeah.
Where did you get this idea from, Tom?
I think I just always, whenever I watch things like Crime Watch or the news, I always think to myself, I would hate to look like some of the people on there.
What, do you mean the quality of the photograph?
Yes, yes.
More than the crimes?
Oh, who cares?
What sort of poses did you pull for these photos then, Tom?
I think it's always good to look like you're smiling, isn't it? Because I think that would probably encourage more people to come and find me.
So show us, have a look down 7 and give us pose number 1.
So anything where I'm like...
God, I'm surprised anyone would want to take you. What did you call the folder? Because it must have a name on your desktop. What did you call it?
Well, I just call it emergency photos.
That could mean something else, Tom, to be fair.
My wife's out tonight, I'll need the emergency photos.
Emergency photos for if the Wi-Fi goes out.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Do you play around with filters and stuff? I mean, is there a sort of disappearance filter?
So I look like I've got bunny ears or something?
Yeah, that...
or sepia. You could do it sepia and then it would look like you disappeared hundreds of years ago.
Yeah. What do you think, Geoff?
I just hope this doesn't end up being chilling archive footage. You know what I mean?
Well, some of the photographs you see on the news and stuff are so miserable, where people are like...
I mean, when you've been
kidnapped,
I don't think that's, like, the main thing that you'd be worried about. If you was in someone's cellar, handcuffed to a radiator, you'd be thinking, Jesus, I hope they don't use Malaga 97 photos.
But why would he need 53?
Well, I suppose he wants to give the programme makers a range. How many outfits did you bring for this evening's recording, Tom?
Well, I brought 3 suits and I bought 5 shirts.
OK,
and I bought
it's true. Blatantly true.
That's you see.
I came with none and found this in the bin.
Well, you think it's true?
Yeah.
Do you think it's true? You don't think it's true?
No, I don't, actually.
Oh, this puts me in an awkward position of having to think. My instinct is that it's a lie.
All right. Tom, was it a lie or were you telling the truth?
I can tell you, it was a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Tom doesn't have a folder of flattering photos in case he goes missing. Esme, you're next.
Oh, right. I once spent a pleasant afternoon riding around topless on a motorbike.
Please, team.
Hang on. Where were you going on this motorbike?
That is the last question I'd have thought.
Very practical.
Yeah,
Yes, he's back.
We've got different angles, me and you, haven't we?
Indeed, yes.
Who were you with?
A friend.
Was he riding in you at the back or the other way round?
I beg your pardon?
What was the man's name, Esme?
It was, Phil.
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 And what relationship were you to Phil?
He was my boyfriend.
So he was your boyfriend. When was this? I mean, just give us an approximation.
Oh, decades ago.
How many decades?
Oh, no.
No what?
Don't make us say that.
All right, which century?
The last century.
Is that worse? Is that worse?
Definitely worse.
I'm no good at these things. What about...
He's a very, very rude man.
What's he wearing?
I don't remember.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Did he have anything out?
Well, he had his arms out.
Can you first of all tell us why you decided to go to... Was it just because you were being devil-may-care?
Well, I'd been sunbathing.
Really?
Right.
Right.
In my knickers.
Just your knickers?
Well, no, actually, I had a scarf tied around my top.
Oh, and then you
Right.
took that off on the motorbike. That's very dangerous.
Did it? Oh,
Could have got caught in the wheels.
I'll tell you what, if my idea earlier would have been that Phil had something out, he could have caught that in the wheels, couldn't he?
I don't know who this Phil is, but he's very impressive. You should never have done it.
So you are lying, sunbathing, and he suggests, why don't we go for a spin on the bike?
Yep.
You jump on the back of the bike, and at this point you've got the improvised bra thing on. So when you start riding, it's on. At what point in the journey did you decide to get rid of the scarf? And where did you put it?
Well, what happened is, because we were going so fast, the scarf fell round my waist.
If you were holding on to him, I guess. So you weren't in a position to put it back on.
No.
And how long did this last?
About 45 minutes, an
45
hour.
minutes! Where was this in the world?
Surrey.
Oh. I know Surrey well.
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Surrey?
I think it was called Bug Hill.
Right.
Do you know Bug Hill?
Yeah.
Oh, OK.
I'll never forget, it's where I once saw a topless motorbike.
So I suppose, in a way, though, they're not totally exposed to the elements.
How big are they?
Well, I don't know.
It's a very windy day if they're out there.
Tell you that...
Not very nice.
You were doing the size of them.
I wasn't going like...
You were doing this?
They weren't... I was actually gesturing. I don't know how big the scarf was. I don't know about these matters.
What are you thinking, Vicky?
I think it's true.
You think it's true as well?
I think she's a wild child.
I really enjoyed it. It felt like an episode of Heartbeat.
It did a bit, didn't it? Yeah.
I'm going to go with my team. If both my team members say it's
Well,
true.
it was my gut feeling.
OK, so you're saying that it's true.
OK.
Esme, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It was true.
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. It's up to David's team to spot who is telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Eamon. So, Tom, what is Eamon to you?
This is Eamon, and after a night out on the tiles with me, he was unable to walk for 2 days.
Right, so, Tom's partying pal. Vicky, how do you know Eamon?
This is my neighbour, Eamon, and for about a month we each thought we were conversing with an owl, when in reality we were each hooting at the other.
Vicky's featherless friend. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Eamon?
This is Eamon. He caught me climbing out of the boot of my car after I'd smuggled myself into his safari park.
David, where do you want to begin?
Well, Tom.
Yes?
So what was it that happened to Eamon that stopped him walking for 2 days?
None of your goddamn business. I was doing a gig. Mm-hmm. We went out.
Describe the evening.
We went to a nightclub and we got drunk and... Sorry, everybody. And I was actually thrown out of the nightclub when I tried to prop myself up on a rope barrier and fell on the floor.
Hang on a minute, Tom.
Yes.
You've done a gig
Yes.
where you're compos mentis, you're sober,
Completely.
you're being your wonderful, glittering self,
Yes.
you're entertaining literally dozens of people. And then you go out with your friend Eamon,
Yes.
laughing Eamon there. What does he do?
He's a photographer.
A photographer.
Does he take photos of you for your desktop file?
So you fell over.
Yes.
The bouncers go, hang on, someone in here has been drinking.
Yes.
And throw you out.
Yes.
I hope they said it in exactly that voice, Jerry.
So then, Eamon, being my friend, took me back to my hotel, but I could not remember what room I was in, and so he had to put me in the lift. He went up to each floor to see if the key would work on any of the doors on that floor. So Eamon went off to try the doors, but he didn't want to leave me in the lift in case the lift door closed and I went to another floor and he never saw me again. So he draped me across the threshold of the lift.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the doors were constantly opening and closing across my head.
How many floors did he check?
I think it wasn't a huge one, but it was probably about 6 floors high.
6 floors.
And on 6 separate occasions, the lift doors are banging on
Exactly.
your head.
Several times on each floor. And at that point, he realised I was actually staying not in the main part of the hotel, but in an annex next to it, which had no lift, and so he had no choice but to drag me to my room.
And
where
all
he
this
opened the door,
lugging and dragging
and
left him unable to walk.
did his back in
Right.
and left him unable
I'm
to walk
surprised
for 2 days.
you could walk after all that.
Well, I'm a very resilient person, Esme.
Who would you like to question next?
OK, so, Vicki.
Just remind us what it was that you said, Vicki.
This is my neighbour, Eamon, and for a month we both thought we were conversing with an owl when, in fact, we were just hooting at each other.
Could you show us a hoot?
That's rich coming from you.
OK, so what I heard was... Woo.
That's a ghost.
And I went, because I'm quite keen on owls, and I went...
What's that?
That's a mouse.
No, it's the call and response of the tawny owl.
Is it? And you thought, we must welcome the tawny owl.
Yeah. This owl gonna be lonely.
Yeah.
Unless I let it know that it has a friend.
Do you realise that what you're doing, strictly speaking, is grooming? Because you're not an owl. You're pretending to be an owl under false pretences to...
Catfishing.
I hadn't really thought that it was owl fishing.
OK,
Yes.
what happened next?
Cut to, a few nights later, I am going to the back door, and I go and I think, well, I wonder if that owl is out there. So I go...
Oh, hang on, that's the reply.
Why didn't you do the you?
Well, because actually the wit is the call, and the woo is the reply.
Well, hang on then. Why did you wit when you heard a woo? 'Cause that owl was clearly already talking to someone else. Finally, there's an owl in the area, and you just interrupt.
And then how did you find out he wasn't the owl?
Look at him. It'd be great now if his head just span round.
At the end of our road is a off-licence shoppy type thing, and I was in there, and Eamon was buying a Sunday paper. One of the things that was in there was a supplement which was about the nature, and one of the things that they'd done a survey on was something called Owl Prowl. And it was lists of sightings of owls.
Can I just say, I've had years of experience in this. You are digging a massive hole. You didn't need to mention the supplements.
Anyway, Owl Prowl.
Sorry, so Owl Prowl, yes. And I said, I think there's an owl in this neighbourhood, and he said, there is, I've heard it. And I said, I think it's a tawny owl. And I said, in fact, I heard it last night. And he said, so did I. And then it gradually dawned on us both that what we'd been doing was...
I see.
Hooting.
Yeah.
Is this the plot of, like, a rom-com with Meg Ryan?
Yeah. What about Lee? Would you remind us of your claim?
This is Eamon. He caught me climbing out of the boot of my car after I tried to smuggle myself into his safari park.
How long ago?
This was 13 years ago.
So what was the saving?
The saving was, I think it was £35 for an adult.
Right.
But the reason why I didn't want to pay is because I had been before to the safari park and I'd come out without the annual pass and I was annoyed. So I got so irritated and we had a bit of a row, me and my wife, because I said, go back and get the annual pass, and she said, no. And in the end, I said, well, look, I'm just going to sneak in the boot. We had our baby on the back seat. He wouldn't get in the boot with me, so...
So when you were in the boot, how were you lying in the boot? How big a boot
like
was
now.
it?
How were you found, Lee? The plan was that,
the plan was
you'd
to just get
driven in.
Yes. So what happened, I said to my wife, is once we're in, pull over when it's safe, and she stopped. But the reason she stopped, I thought because we were safe, but no, it wasn't because she was safe. It was because a load of monkeys were crossing the road. So she stopped to let these monkeys cross. I think it's now safe to get out. We've got a safety latch in the boot. I think I got out...
You let yourself out of a boot?
Well, there's a little latch on...
No, there's not.
There is.
Is
safety
there?
latch. There has been since 2013.
Can I ask you something?
All boots have to be fitted with an inner safety latch.
But this was 13 years ago, not 2013.
Exactly. So luckily, I had an advanced model. I had the prototype. The first car on the market to have a boot latch inside it.
You get out...
Do you not remember the advert? Sick of your boot only opening from the outside? No longer. With the new Skoda internal boot latch. 6.4. No, so Eamon, who is working at the safari park...
As what?
He was the ranger, and his job was to make sure people...
What sort of equipment did he have?
Oh, he had it all. He had a big net.
His helmet?
No, he had a big net, he had a gun, he had a thing over his thing with lots of little darts in.
Yeah.
He had a safari jacket on.
He had a snooker cue, a tennis racket, a banjo. And he spotted you climbing out of the boot.
Correct.
What were the monkeys doing as you got out of the boot? Did they just go on with their business,
luckily,
or did they...
The first thing they did was they removed the dead zebra that was lying on the floor, and that's what they were using to cross. But then it's confusing when a zebra just dies. Everyone just walks across them.
And your wife must have been alarmed.
No, that's just the car. And so I get out the boot, there's mayhem, he comes over, what are you doing? Get in the car! And then he does something to the monkeys, which is like he waves something and they run. He just goes, and they go, and they run.
Are you just retelling the plot of Jumanji?
The monkeys have gone.
The monkeys are gone because he waved the anti-monkey stick.
Can you remember what it looked like, this anti-monkey stick?
Yeah, I remember it being very bright. I remember it being like a light, a very long light, like a
lightsaber,
like Star Wars.
Like a lightsaber.
He had a lightsaber with him.
This is a job not for the net or the dart gun, but the lightsaber.
Right, he started doing that.
So I
think this was a lie, but I think Lee is starting to believe it on some level.
Yeah.
He's so far into it.
What happens then?
So then he's telling me off. First of all, get in the car. Safety first.
Yeah.
So
Does he get in the car with you?
He gets in the car. Now he starts telling me off through the window. Now I can't open the window, which I tried to do politely. He went, close your window. So he went, what the hell are you doing out? Can't hear you. He said, keep the window on. Not open the window. I said, I can't hear you. Don't open the window. I said, I can't hear you. Don't open the window. And then eventually thought it'd be easy to just get in.
Difficult
this is 13 years ago, by the way.
for him to get in with all his equipment.
And the baby in the baby seat in the back seat.
He gets just past the baby. He sits in between the baby. There's the baby. There's me. No, there's baby.
So you're in the back as well. You didn't get in the front.
I didn't get in the front because I just panicked. He said, "Get in the car now." I just got in the first door I saw.
OK.
And I had to climb over the baby. Then he had to climb over the baby. Shut both the doors. Your
wife's in the front, and in the back are you, Eamon, the baby, the net, the lightsaber, and the dart gun.
Correct. You all right?
Oh, look, he's crying at the memory of it.
It's bringing back tears, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
How does this come to a conclusion, Lee?
Well, so he looked at me and he said, "Is there any reason you've made me come in here with all this paraphernalia? What kind of idiot would get out the back of it? Are you trying to sneak in and not pay?" I said, "Well, the thing is, stop laughing." I said, the bit, at least comb your beard up so it covers your mouth. And my wife said, "Don't talk to me like that." And he says, "Why are you sneaking in?" And I told him the story I told you. And he didn't believe it either. Yeah. And he chastised me. He gave me a good telling off. He said, you're risking your life here. He says, "You're not going to believe this." He says, "But exactly a week ago, a fella got out the boot of his car. And unfortunately, he'd used a new banana shampoo, and they literally dragged him off into the forest, and he was never seen again."
I remember. I think I read about that.
Yeah. Do you remember?
It's OK. You can relax now. We need an answer. So, David's team is Eamon, Tom's partying pal, Vicky's featherless friend, or maybe Lee's wildlife warden.
What I don't get with Lee's story is why, in the beginning, was he going to lengths of sneaking himself in like a journalist entering a war zone when it was just a safari park?
Because, I mean, listen, we just had a baby, and things were tight. I mean, I'd spent most of my money on a new car that had a new facility to get ourselves out of the loop.
Basically, we have 3 stories. One of them isn't possible. Yes. 2 of them are unlikely but possible. And I think I'll leave it there.
So who's it going to be then? Time to decide.
I don't know. So you think Tom?
No, I think Vicky.
You think Vicky? If you're divided,
yes,
I will cast my casting vote for Tom.
Saying it's Tom. OK, Eamon, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Eamon, and I had to get Tom back to his hotel room.
Yes, Eamon is Tom's partying pal. Thank you very much, Eamon. Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies, and we start with... It's Geoff.
I once crashed my car because I was driving cross-legged.
Please, team.
Did you need the toilet?
I was just stuck in traffic, and I'd passed my test like 2 months before, and I was just bored, and I sort of looked down, and I just thought, why not just sort of mix this up a little bit?
Whoa. So you mean you didn't cross your legs casually for a little rest of your legs?
No.
You crossed your legs to see if you could operate the opposite pedals?
Yeah.
Which of the 3 pedals did you have your teeth in?
So if it's normally right foot accelerator, left foot clutch, I went left foot accelerator, right foot clutch.
Right over then.
Did you drive for a while in this interesting position?
No. I was just in traffic, and I decided to do it, and then I just started, like, ramming the guy in front of me, like, repeatedly.
I've got a question here, though, because I recently passed my test. Because I know if you took your foot off the clutch, you'd stall the engine. You wouldn't be able to crash.
No, because it was... You got to understand, so the accelerator was fully depressed.
It was fully depressed?
You don't keep your foot on the clutch all the time.
But if you stall the engine, though...
Did you definitely pass? If your engine is ticking over at neutral at the traffic lights, you can take your foot off the clutch. Not only can you, you should. And put your handbrake on. You shouldn't be there revving going...
Lee, I have to tell you, we are on the same team.
You said you were repeatedly ramming
stoved in.
Well, how did that happen?
Well, because I just froze.
Did you get out of the car?
No, I took the keys out and threw them out the window.
You
right?
did?
I did do that.
Why did you do that?
I didn't know how else to stop what was happening.
Oh, I see.
You know what you could have done?
Yeah.
You could have uncrossed your legs.
There was that.
So, did he come over to the car window?
Yeah. The problem was he asked me what had happened, because he felt like he was essentially under attack, right? Because it's not just a shunt, is it? This is a repeated kind of like...
So what did he say?
I explained, and he said to me, well, no one would be that stupid. And I was like, well, you're wrong, I was.
Did you get out and get the keys?
And did you know where the keys were?
I recovered the keys, yeah.
Where from?
Well, from where I'd thrown them to.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah.
Where were they?
Well, because in the UK we drive on the right, so I...
No, we don't.
No, we drive... No, but to be fair, if you cross your legs, I suppose you go the opposite way.
What are you thinking?
I think I'm going to say true.
Tom, you think it's...
Barefaced lie.
Time to decide, Lee.
I'm going to say that I think it's a lie.
So you're going with a lie. Two against one. Geoff,
Yeah.
were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
That was...
True.
No!
Yes, it's true. Geoff did crash his car because he was driving cross-legged. Next, it's David. Hello.
I once got so drunk, I whipped out my laptop, thought, what the hell, and ordered myself a Latin phrase book.
Lee's team.
What sort of... But a Latin phrase book feels like quite an unusual thing. When would you use a Latin phrase?
It's actually, strictly, it's called a Latin primer. But it is a book of Latin phrases and Latin grammar.
But nothing had happened in the previous years where this was a problem. You were fine without your Latin.
Well, I had a, very awkward dinner with a centurion, but... It wasn't like... Yeah, I hadn't particularly felt that gap, but I was...
Give us some of your favourite Latin phrases.
I can't
You must know one
Latin.
or two, a man of your learning.
Veni, vidi, vici.
Oh.
Or Veni, vidi, wiki.
Yes.
Depending on how you pronounce it.
What does it mean? I came, I saw...
I conquered. Quod erat demonstrandum.
What I have just demonstrated. Yeah, I went to a comprehensive. I know all of these phrases, David.
Is there any modern practical phrases, like, where is the station?
No, and if you think about it, you'll know why.
How did you get on with Latin when you were at school?
No, we didn't do Latin, no.
You'd need a primer, wouldn't you? You'd need a phrase.
We had loads of that in the shed.
Tom, what are you thinking?
The idea of buying a textbook for a language that is no longer spoken for somebody who works in an environment where that language isn't used, which was taught to him at school several years ago, that he had to get drunk to buy, is exactly the sort of thing that David Mitchell would do.
You're going to say it's true, Lee?
Definitely.
You think it's true? They all think it's true.
No.
Right.
Oh, it's true.
David.
Yeah. Of course it's true.
Yes, it's true. David did drunkenly order himself a Latin phrase book. That noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that David's team have won by 3 points to 2. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.